Welcome back to Mornings with Jaresha. It's Thursday. It's Thursday. It's Thursday. Now, I don't know if you are excited because it's Thursday, but I'm excited to know that it's Thursday. And I'm even more excited to know that tomorrow is Friday. It's been a week. It has been a week. It has been a great week, but it has been a week full of just being pulled, okay? Being pulled in so many different directions, which is not necessarily a bad thing. However, it has been a week. Has it been a week for y'all too? Has it been a week for y'all? But this morning, as I was sipping on my coffee, okay, so sipping on my coffee because I am definitely a coffee. I gotta have my coffee in the morning. And so often when I am drinking my coffee, I am in deep thought about things, just life and how we do. And so this morning I was thinking about how I can remember back to the days when I was a single mom and how so I was always taught to be self-sufficient. And so that meant, even as a single mom, that I often had to fix stuff if it was broken. And if I ordered something, you know how you go and purchase something that has to be put together, that has to be built. I was that girl. So I had to put things together. And I had to, and I say had to because the alternative was waiting for someone that could, potentially put it together for me. I wanted to be self-sufficient, and again, I was always taught to be self-sufficient. So this morning here I am thinking as I was looking at one of the many items that's in my office that I have put together, and I'm like, I yeah, what if back when I was a single mom and just in my whole journey of having to fix things and having to put stuff together, what if I didn't have the tools that I needed to? What if I was one of those type of people who said, "Okay, I need to put this thing needs to be put together, but it's just going to sit over here and collect dust." And it's just, whenever I can get someone to put it together. And so I just was thinking, because I really feel like even then, when I knew that I needed to put something together, I knew that in order to fix anything, in order to build something, you have to have the tools, right? We have to have the tools. So then I invested into a drill and of course the basic tools that I needed. And to this day, I still utilize those tools. But the question that I'm asking today is, what tools are you using or do you use? What tools do you need to be successful? Now, what tools do you need to accomplish your goals, your dreams, and your purpose? I think that if we can understand who we are and what is needed and required, then we are well on our way to winning and accomplishing everything that we want. So let's really get into this thing because I think that whole thought process of just thinking about the tools that we need to be successful could really, really, really position us for success. And so, I don't know if you feel like, you can have too many tools in your toolbox. And for most of us, at least maybe I shouldn't speak for all of us, but I know for myself, my knowledge of tools, and I'm talking about as far as like the carpenter tools and all of that, is really very, very limited. Okay. So going back to when I first learned how to use a drill and screwdriver and everything else that goes along with that, it was very limited. And so I had to learn, I had to reach out and, get some additional resources so that I knew how to utilize the drill, what drill bits and everything that I needed to use, and what I really need to have in order to be able to position myself for if I purchase something, I would be able to put it together. Because ultimately, that's what we want. So I feel like we can't have too many tools in our toolbox, but we have to know what each tool does. And you have to know how you can use it effectively in your life. Because what good is having a tool that you're not using simply because, you don't know how to use it or haven't tried to learn? And so it just sits there collecting dust. And so I feel the same way about our toolbox of success. So our tools of success that we have, that we need to be utilizing, that's at our fingertips, we're not utilizing them. And so guess what? They are collecting dust. Now, and I started by saying, you must know who you are. And I feel like, and I'm going back to the single mom days because I feel like I knew that as a single mom, that there were times that I really couldn't afford to wait on someone to fix or build things. And if I wanted it to be done, if I wanted it to be built, if I wanted it to be fixed, I needed to learn how to do it myself. And so that's where the self-sufficient comes in. So I recognized who I was, and that was one who was all about self-sufficient. I was willing to learn. I was very independent, a problem solver, and I also knew that learning this new skill could help me in the future. So do you know who you are and the skills that you bring to the table, and also what is required for you to take it to the next level? So I think that understanding, who I was and where I wanted to be, I knew that I wanted to continue on this self-sufficient journey. And so if I had to use these skills, in which I would, then I would know how to use those skills. So let's build this success toolbox. Okay. So the first thing that we're going to add into our toolbox is self-discipline. Self-discipline. We have to be self-disciplined. We have to get in the habit of deliberately doing the things that you don't feel like doing. We have to develop our self-discipline muscle. We need to think about this as like a self-leadership. Self-discipline. Are you disciplined enough? Maybe I should say it that way. Are you disciplined with the things that you need to be doing for accomplishing your goals, your dreams, and your purpose? If not, then you need to check this tool and make sure you know how to use it, and so that you can be successful. The next tool that we're adding into our toolbox is energy. Now, this energy thing is so powerful, so important, because we know that in order for us to be successful, it requires hard work. Hard work. We have to put in the blood, the sweat, the tears. And in order for us to put in the blood, the sweat, and the tears, we have to have energy. And so if you are one of those people who is really running close to empty, okay, running close to empty, you need to check your energy. Check this tool and make sure you're utilizing it the way that you need to, so that you can be successful. The same way we need to make sure we're fueling our body with exercise, with sufficient sleep, and avoiding stress, and we need to also make sure we are guarding and protecting our energy as well. And so that's those things that is going to drain our energy, because if you're working hard and you're drinking your water, you have this healthy lifestyle, you're exercising, taking care of self, avoiding stress, but yet you're allowing people or things to drain that energy, that is not going to be conducive to you being successful. So we really have to make sure with this tool that we are checking our energy levels at all times. This is a daily thing. It is a daily thing. The next tool that we're adding into this toolbox is believing in self. So having faith in ourselves. This is so very important because belief drives behavior and behavior drives results. We have to understand that we have everything that we need within us. We have everything that we need within us. You have the inner resources that you need in order to be successful, the inner resources that is necessary for you to be successful. So we have to learn to rely on ourselves. We have to learn to believe in ourselves. That's so very important. The next tool that we're going to add into our toolbox is motivation. Yes, motivation, 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 motivation. It's so very important for us to feel motivated. It's all about how we feel, right? So it almost just kind of goes back to the whole self-discipline. But how, if you're feeling unmotivated, we need to be asking ourselves questions. Why? Who is in charge of how you feel? Why do you feel unmotivated? You are the one that is in charge of being motivated and making sure that you're going to stay highly motivated so that you can achieve the results that you desire. So if that means utilizing, just affirmations and, sometimes we have to utilize these other tools that are, at our fingertips as well. Affirming from a day to day that I can do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it now. And also that discipline thing comes into play as well. We have to stay motivated. If you want to be successful, motivation is the key. And if you know that there are times when you feel unmotivated, you need to look at why. Why are you feeling unmotivated? And what can you do to motivate yourself? What can you do? Check your why often as well, because often our why may not be strong enough for whatever that thing is. And so we have to be always evaluating and reevaluating ourselves and the things that motivate us, our motivators as well. The next thing we're going to add into our toolbox is a positive attitude. Now we know this positivity thing is real. It is real. It's the real deal, Holyfield. Because just think about how having a negative attitude and not just yourself. So think about even other people that you've either come in contact with that has this negative attitude. We don't realize how much attitudes are really contagious. And so if you have a positive attitude, it can be contagious. If you have a negative attitude, we know that it's contagious. And so we have to have a positive attitude about success. We have to fill our mind with positive expectations and not worries and not fears. We have to be grateful and not complain about where we're at on this journey. Now, I know I get it. A lot of us feel like we should be a lot further than where we are. But that is not the time to complain about where you're at on this journey. It is not the time to complain. It is the time to stop having those negative, thoughts, the negative narrative, and turning that negative narrative around to something positive that is going to help you. Because ultimately, your attitude about the journey you're on, your attitude about success, if you're not going to have a positive attitude, how in the world do you think you're going to be able to level up and move to the next level? We can't get there by worrying. We can't get there by thinking negative. We definitely can't get there by the negativity and the negative attitude that a lot of us have. So we have to be willing to get rid of that negative attitude to turn it into a positive attitude so that you can be successful in your dreams, your goals, and your purpose. Now, we can't have this toolbox, this success toolbox without having focus as one of the tools. Focus, focus, focus. And we have to really be laser focused. Working on your goals is a full-time job. It's a full-time job. Working on your dream is a full-time job. Working on your goals, your dreams, your purpose, it's a full-time job. Yes, you may be working a 9 to 5 job. Yes, you may be building your entrepreneur, your business, your small business, your business. Yes, you may be in a building phase. But know this, that working on your goals is a full time job. So we have to remain focused on our target. We have to remain focused. Focus is so very important. And it is one of the most important things that is a part of our success toolbox. Now, one of the things that we definitely have to add into this toolbox is people skills. When we think about just this whole journey of success, we have to know that people need people. We need each other. Okay. We need to be able to surround ourselves with like minded people. We need to be able to empower each other, support each other. We need to make sure we're going to have those people skills. And if this is an area that you feel like you lack in, then develop yourself, improve your people skills and how we talk to other people and how we communicate. Communication is so very important. And so I really feel like people skills, communication, all of that is kind of wrapped up together because of the fact that in this success journey, you have to interact with other people. Now, for my introverts out there, whether you want to or not, you have to interact with other people, which means you have to learn how to get along with others and how to communicate with other people. Communicating with other people so that as you're around other people that's like minded, you can support, you can empower each other, and knowing how to communicate with each other, knowing when you're wrong and admitting when you're wrong, and knowing how to celebrate each other is important as well. I think that goes hand in hand with supporting each other and empowering each other, is being willing to celebrate your someone that you're close to, someone that you're connected with as well. Now, the other tool that we're going to add to this toolbox is courage. Now, this success journey, we know that it is so real. it is so real. So real for all of us. And it doesn't matter where you're at, what career you're in, whether you're in school, whether you're an entrepreneur. Every one of us need courage. We need courage. We need courage to be able to take risk. We need to develop the courage that is needed in order for us to step outside of that comfort zone. And we need to do this daily. Daily, we need to be stretching ourselves. So if you want to be successful, you need to make sure you're growing and you're stretching yourself in all areas of your life. That's so very, very important. So courage is absolutely one of the tools that we have to have inside of our toolbox. Now, one of the other things that I definitely feel like we need to have in our toolbox is being able to build the momentum. And that is meaning that we're going to take steps daily. We're going to take, even if it's a small step, you're going to take a step. In order for you to take a step, you have to start, right? So you have to be willing to start and keep growing, keep building, keep building, because your goals, your dreams, and your purpose is there. It's there for you, but you have to do the work. And so we have to take steps towards our goal every single day. It doesn't matter how big or how small, we have to be willing to take those steps. Now, one of the other tools, this is like one of the last tools that I'm gonna mention today, is being thorough. So when it comes down to your goals, your dreams, and your purpose, how thorough are you? How thorough are you? We don't realize that being the thoroughness that we have, it's going to develop us. It's going to develop us. It's going to help us be determined and the persistence, and also help us with being patient. And it's so very important when it comes down to this process of being successful and making sure we're going to do the work, not slack off, not do half of it, but being thorough with what we are doing in our success journey every single day. Now, the last tool that I'm going to mention today is your follow up, follow through. This tool right here, y'all. It is so important because it shows consistency. So it is your consistency tool. How consistent are you on this successful journey? Are you one that starts stuff and then you don't finish it, so you don't see it all the way through? How consistent are you with the projects that you have? How consistent are you with your goals that you're setting? How consistent are you with your dream and your purpose? The consistency thing is so very important on this successful journey. And that is exactly why it is one of the last tools that I'm going to mention today, because I feel like every last one of these tools, in order for us to be successful, we have to have these tools in our toolbox. But just having them there, we have to know how to utilize these tools in our life, in all the areas in our life, in our business, in our careers, in our family, in our relationships, in our finances, in our spiritual life, in our health and wellness. You have to know how to utilize those tools, and just know that every last one of the tools that I mentioned transfers over to each and every one of the areas in our life, which means you can use all of these tools in each and every area of your life so that you can be building, so that you can be growing. And so all of these tools are very, very important for us to have. And not only for you to identify these tools, but you have to know how to use them to position yourself for success. Now, you have to know how to use them to position yourself for success, but this is a daily thing. So, in order for you to execute on your goals, your dreams, and your purpose, how can you utilize following through and being consistent? How can you utilize being thorough? How can you utilize communication and people skills? How can you utilize a positive attitude, motivation, believing in yourself, the energy, and being self-disciplined? How can you utilize each and every one of those tools in order for you to execute on your goals, your dreams, and your purpose? Now, just think about this. We have tools so that we are able to fix and build things, right? We have those tools. I can't tell you how many times I've had to pull out my drill and to build whatever that thing is, and I feel good about it because I know how to use the drill. I know how to use the tools that I have. So think about your own life. How can you use these tools of success? How can you use these tools to fix being stuck or to build success in your life? How can you begin today to utilize these tools? It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time to get serious. It's time to start working on your goals, your dreams, and your purpose. So I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready. It's time to execute. It's time to use the Success Toolbox to take you to the next level. I hope you're ready. It's time to execute. It's time. It's time. It's time to execute. Let's get it. Let's go.